Hey guys, we're now in the Ace Matches, game number 3 in this best of 3 between MarineKingPrime and ST.Curious. It is Metropolis, and I haven't seen enough of this map to know what race it favors. It really depends on what day it is, as a lot of the playstyles do change, and well, Metropolis does, I think, kind of favor towards mech play, or at least a lot more tanks, because you go up on a few tanks, put them on these high grounds, and suddenly you get a lot of cheap shots whenever the Zerg tries to attack any one of your 5 bases. It's really easy to go on 5 base on this map, so it really does, if you're a Terran player who expands a lot, like Tasia, or like Illusion, the Foreigner Illusion, not now Gosu Ice Cream, the Illusion that's on, I think, Quantic Illusion? I think it's Quantic. That illusion does really well on this map because if you can expand a lot on this map, it is one of those maps that do favor towards a lot of bases and dividing the map in half in the late game. And a lot of Zergs in extreme late game I have seen do well because that may lead to a lot of the Zergs just favor late game play because you don't see them anymore going, okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go up to Lair Tech, I'm going to build a lot of mutas, and then I'm going to win. No, that was like last year, or maybe 2 years ago that Zergs did that. Now, the main thing about Zerg is, okay, if I attack too much before a Hive Tech, I'm going to lose. I'm going to get the Hive Tech and win the game, which is late game. So they have really good control of their late game armies. They depend a lot on the spellcasters throughout the game. Those infestors are critical all throughout the game. And the end game for Terran is the really only situation where you need spellcasters. So I think Terran's mechanics kind of lag behind a little bit of the Zergs in late game scenarios. So we'll see exactly what does end up happening. Marine King not going to go for CC first. Not going to do that 3 times in a row. Instead, going to go for 1 Rax. Expand, it looks like, without gas. I haven't actually seen Marine King do this in all of the IPL qualifiers. Every time he's built 1 Rax, he's built another and done some type of pressure, but Metropolis is a huge map. So we'll see exactly what Marine King ends up doing this game. It will be a 1 Rax expo because, well, he's almost at 400 minerals and probably will be getting an orbital command. Interesting enough, that is a 17 orbital, which means he got 16 SCVs out, and one of those is a Marine. So Marine King going to be mixing it up with a build I haven't really seen, and this could be really interesting. Going to be building the command center down on the low ground. Doesn't have any backup plans of having a wall off on the high ground in case early aggression came out of Curious. So this build wildly different than anything I've seen Marine King do recently. So really curious to see exactly what he will do, and I'm sure Curious is curious on exactly what Marine King's late game is. Going to be going up on double gas right now, so maybe Cloaked Banshee, but those haven't been really effective since a lot of Zerg players get a lot of queens out, so we'll see exactly what ends up happening. Metropolis is a map that a lot of Zerg players get like 6 queens out for defense because a huge map, you need a lot of creep. Additionally, you need creep on 2 different sides. You need to spread that everywhere because there's so many avenues for Terrans to come down. If you have a creep like spread this side of the map, they'll just come down this side of the map. So really interested to see exactly the builds that do go down. Curious right now getting speed with Lings. That is a early speed. He does pull drones off gas immediately, so will not be getting any banelings. And just going to be poking up, probably get more scouting information, see what Marine King is doing with early speedlings. He's probably going to be able to get a lot of scouting information because Marine King doesn't have any sort of Sim City going on at all. Doesn't have the bunker with supply depots that we've seen in the past. Doesn't have a supply depot wall on top of this ramp. He's just got Marines trying to wall that off. He is getting a reactor, so he will be opening up with the reactor Hellions. But this double gas is definitely interesting. What is he going to be doing with the double gas? And that gas being so quickly, going to that 1 Rax Expo double gas style. Another supply depot being built by Marine King. Orbital will be finishing at the natural. There's Lings going across the map, timed with speed. It looks like he's not going to be running in the base with slow Lings. Just wants them there as soon as speed finishes, just so he can get into Marine King's base that much quicker. Because, again, he's probably a little bit curious what Marine King is doing. 1 Ling does go down there. The speed now going to be finishing in 10 seconds. And once that does, he will probably run in. Those Hellions will be out, and he may not be able to get any scouting whatsoever with the Marines and Hellions at this ramp. Speed does finish. Now those Lings want to run in, and they're actually on attack. Does come in, sees that factory, and now 2 Lings going to come. We'll see the starport, see the tech lab on the barracks. And now Curious knows, okay, his plan was to go into Banshees. Will he still do it? It looks like yes, Marine King indeed will still go up into those Banshees. Actually going to be getting a Raven out. And maybe we have seen this before. I did see a Marine Hellion Raven push by Marine King in the past. I think it was Marine King. Point defense drones can help against queens because, well, it does it on the melee attack now along with the ranged attack. So It is going to be a really odd push out of Marine King. I'm kind of curious if the whole plan along was to go for that Raven, or maybe he went for the Raven because it did get scouted. He's like, well, I can do this build now. So, again, really interesting thing out of Marine King. Going to be mainly Hellion with Raven. And a handful of Marines, and maybe not building those Marines anymore. So this attack is going to hit before the 11-minute mark, because at 11-minute mark, mutas become a possibility. And doing just Hellions and Ravens and a Banshee, everything that attacks ground units, isn't going to be good against mutas. So he is going to have to do damage relatively soon. That layer is finishing, and we do have a lot of gas for Curious. So Spire, big possibility here. He is up at 4 gases, not mining out of his 4th one. But yeah, mutas are a huge possibility, especially after seeing what Curious did, seeing the Marine count will be low. There we go, Spire is coming down, so he's got to do damage relatively soon. And now the Raven, does he have 100 energy? He's going to have it when he gets there, so maybe he's going to throw a point defense drone down and then run past with Hellion so the Queens don't really do damage to them. This is interesting. That is all there is to say about that. Also has a random Banshee somewhere. There it is. There's that random Banshee. Raven, of course, going to allow killing creep to us, but that can't be Marine King's plan because of the mutas. And Raven, what is it going to do? Auto turrets do go down just before it falls, so the Raven not really doing that much, but the Hellions just going to be running past the Queens and now splitting up, going into 2 different bases. All you Terran players who say, well, you get 6 Queens, I can't do damage with you. Here's what happens. You don't focus the Queens down. You just go and run by. And Curious is taking a huge amount of damage, losing 18 drones. Not as much as I thought. Now going to be getting the split off, but there's more and more Hellions about. And now there's a Banshee over here, but that has taken a lot of damage. Marine King going to be at all 3 bases, or was at all 3 bases. And now the worker kills is at 30. That is a lot of drones. 72 to 38. And only 3 mutas being built. He did not have enough. If he had enough to build like 12 mutas, he could counter with the mutas and do a lot of damage. But he doesn't have that. So Curious now in a horrible situation. That was definitely really nice by Marine King, to say the least. And one thing I am waiting for, I don't know if it's possible, but after seeing that, seeing those auto turrets go down, you know what would be really funny? If auto turrets can wall off, I'm not sure if they can. But if they can, you run like 5 Hellions into the main, and then drop like 4 auto turrets and wall the ramp so the Queens can't get up. How funny would that be? But anyways, going back into the game, Marine King is in a pretty darn good spot. He's in the spot that he's been in the past 2 games, where his economy is crippled, and the Zergs is really good. But now the Zergs economy crippled down to 19 drones to the 60 of Marine King, and he is going to be transferring into mech play. Getting Thors out now, getting 1-1 on his mech. And at this point, pretty much anything is viable for Marine King. He can just ignore the muta damage, ignore the Queen damage, kill Queens with his Hellions, go in and kill even more workers. There are a lot of mutas, well, a lot being 5. Going to be finding this one base, but SCVs can just repair turrets and keep them alive against 5 mutas. 1 muta trying to kill off all the Hellions. Eventually he'll do it, but those Hellions just going to be killing so much out of Curious. 1 Hellion at 2 HP. There are 13 drones on the map to 64 SCVs. Marine King has the army supply of the worker count pretty much. About double or triple the army supply, in fact. That is ridiculous. And actually, Curious right now has 20 army supply to the 20 drones, so he is even. He is a well-rounded player right now, but just bad situation. Point defense drone goes down, keeping that Thor alive against those mutas. Not that he needs the help. And Marine King's going to have 1 vicious Thor Hellion coming out in the next probably minute. He'll move out once he gets 1 more Thor. Or these 2 more Thors coming out. Bear's going to be floating out 2 Scout, going into the worker count, 23 drones to 73 SCVs, 2-2 on the way, along with pre-igniters. So this Hellion's going to do a lot of damage. Something went down, maybe the Raven. Those mutas did get a kill. Another base is going up for Marine King, so Marine King at this point is pretty much in a unlosable situation right now. 3 more Thors actually on the way, producing them a lot at a time. And Curious just going to try to work magic with 4 of 5 mutas. It is going to take a huge miracle to win. Marine King could probably just move out with 2 Thors and a few Hellions and just win the game. And that's 2 out of the 5 Thors, yeah, so not even half the count. But we'll see if Curious can work a magic. I don't mean to be down-talking, but I think everyone knows, or everyone's kind of in the same situation I am, where they think the game is over. But we'll try to make this interesting for you guys. We do have the Baelix floating over, getting the scouting efficiency, see exactly what Curious is. Marine King doesn't know exactly how much damage he's done. And Point of Fence drones actually have a burning animation. That is interesting. I did not know that. I guess auto turrets probably do as well then. Few Thor's going to go out, clean up those mutas really quick. He is almost at 2 Thors, and he is going to be moving out. Hellions, there we go. GG. Realizing, yeah, that is a lot of stuff. Marine King, that was definitely pretty cool. Let's look at that Hellion run by again. We'll watch the Hellions run by. And what that Banshee did. Okay, we're just before that. So again, this is... Let's see. He doesn't know it's going to be mute attack, but again, when you're doing a build like this that is geared at doing economic damage, you really have to get in there before 11 minutes. Generally before 10 minutes. 11 minutes is kind of pushing it, but you kind of get the idea. If mutas come out, they can put an end to any of these type of builds. But let's see exactly what happened. So as that spire is completing, is it... Let's see. The difference on these gases, these were built at the same time. So 100 gas is missing because he forgot to saturate this, or he didn't saturate this. Not getting any upgrades on that Evo chamber. So I'm kind of curious why he can't build as many mutas as he did. Because when you go a mute attack, you generally build like at least 8 mutas immediately. That was 5. So maybe it comes down to this push. That Raven used all his energy? That's my next question. Look at this. Yep, it used all its energy. There's 2 auto turrets. And those auto turrets can be smart. I mean, if you try to like attack, move away, and chase the Hellions and miss, the queens and stuff will stay here attacking those auto turrets. So that's pretty smart, but I think he just placed them down because, again, his Raven was just dead. So now going into this, he's going to have 600 gas right now. Queen gonna come down here. Banshee gonna come down there. There is a queen, but that was pretty insane. Let's see what that looks like first person from Marine King, and then we'll end. Or maybe we'll watch first person from Curious.
Ready. Engine screaming.
Well, let's see what this looks like. Pretty good job on his Hellion Micro, I have to say. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We can see what that looks like from Curious's perspective. And then, I know you guys probably aren't watching this anymore. Happy 4th of July, by the way. And sorry if the cast weren't as good as normal. Don't know why. I just out of it today. Not the best day to cast Marine King, but there's never a bad day to cast Marine King. So it looks like those queens try to chase the Hellions and ignore that auto turret. But the auto turret kind of screwed the queen over, transfused there, nice job. So, not saying that Curious is a bad player, but watching these first-person perspectives, you see Marine King going a lot between, like, managing multiple things much better than Curious is right now. So, again, I was on normal. That was odd. But it definitely looked like Marine King was managing that situation much better. Watch it on faster. Nah. I'm just gonna head off. I said it. We'll do it. There we go. Last time. Not that anyone's here. Realized I was on normal. That could have made it look a lot worse than it was. But yeah, it definitely looks like Marine King can multitask much better. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the game. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow or later today.